Should my dog learn to drive? In this video, I'm gonna explain how I got home last night. What kind of MIDI controller do you need to produce like a professional? In this video, I'm gonna explain the different types of MIDI controllers, my top picks, and which ones you actually need.
Mississippi putting it down, I'm the hottest round. I told y'all mother, y'all can stop me now. Listen to me now, I'm lasting 20 rounds. And if you want me, then come on get me now.
That was strangely arousing.
Yo, it's Thomas Anthony from Fancy Foxx Music, where we help transform frustrated bedroom producers into confident professional artists. And if this is our first time meeting, I've been in the music game for over 10 years, and my music projects have over 2 million plays on just Spotify alone. So if you're new to this channel, every Tuesday I upload a video relating to music production, music marketing, or healthy badass producer lifestyle tips. So if you're new to that and interested in that, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon. Now, before we get started, I want to know where you're struggling in your music career. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll either answer it in the comment section or I'll make a video on that topic. So pop your struggles in the comments. And definitely check out the show notes in the description below if you want any links to things that I'm talking about or any awesome marketing tools. They're linked down below. All right, so what is a MIDI controller? A MIDI controller is something like this, and it controls a function in your DAW. It's just a controller that doesn't do anything, doesn't play any sounds, just has a bunch of buttons or knobs or keys on it, and it controls a function in your DAW, like Ableton, Logic, or FL or something. Now, what are the different types of controllers? Well, there's ones like this that are keyboards. There are also ones like this that are also keyboards. There are ones like this, and this, and this. This is another type of MIDI keyboard. So there are different types of MIDI keyboards. Each of them just basically have all these buttons and doodads that you can map to different areas into different functions in your DAW. For example, this one's mapped to my girlfriend's libido. It has a bunch of little buttons here that do different things. And yeah, you can map it to literally anything. So which MIDI keyboard do you actually need? That is the question. That is what we want to figure this out. So first thing you want to take into consideration is which one looks the coolest. Obviously, that is going to be the number one thing. You want to put pictures on Instagram. You want to look like you're doing, hustling so hard in the studio, which is my cool MIDI controller. Or you want to put it on Instagram, or when people come over, you want to be like, hey, dude, look at my sick studio. Even if it's just in your bedroom, you're like, oh my God, I'm a music producer, yeah. And it makes you feel like a music producer, so that's number one. But what do you actually need for a MIDI controller as a music producer? Well, we should take into consideration what kind of music that you make. So do you make music that is just bangers, and you're just trying to make a drop, and you're just starting out producing? In that case, I would suggest something like this. Because it's small, it's portable, and you'll just be pressing one button on it anyways. You'll be like, oh, that patch sounds sick. Oh yeah, that's the sick patch I'm gonna be doing. So if you're starting out, you don't know much music theory, just get a small MIDI controller. They're super cheap, they don't take up much room, and you can map these other things to these other functions, which I'll get into in a little bit about the usefulness of that. But if you're just starting out and you like making bangers and you're just pressing one note, basically you don't know much music theory, just get the smallest controller because it doesn't take up much space and it's cheap. Next up, if you actually know some music theory and you can play piano and your songs are a little bit more musical, I would definitely suggest something with more keys. You don't have to go balls deep like this one and get the craziest MIDI controller out there that costs so much money, but you can definitely get one like that has a full key spectrum. You can get it in the longer keys or shorter keys. It's great because you can play melodies and chords and use both your hands, and it's not a pain in the ass, and the keys are full size, so it's way more comfortable to play. And if you make hip hop or trap or something like that, you can get something like this where you can program your own drum patterns in just by hand. You can do the kick and the clap. Some people find inspiration by doing that. You can also get a machine, which is super sweet too, and you can play the drums live and program it to different like MIDI notes. But I'll get into the usefulness of all this stuff in a second. If you're playing live or you're in a band and you like playing drums, you could get something like this. So this is a drum machine. You can program different drum noises to each of these pads and actually play them with a stick. Looks super cool on stage, and yeah, it's super durable and it's really, really awesome. Now, those are different types of MIDI keyboards and some ideas of where to kind of start when you're thinking about what kind of MIDI keyboard you need. But the next thing you want to think about is, where are you making music? Are you making music on the road? Are you constantly changing your location, or are you in a stationary studio? If you're traveling on the road lots or you don't have lots of space, I would suggest something like this. It's literally small. It is kind of harder to play chords and melodies, especially with two hands. It's almost impossible. But if you just want something to kind of test out what kind of chords you'd be using, I would highly suggest this. Or if you're starting out, or if you're portable. Even though I have never ever used this out of the studio or on the road or anything like that. I just never find the time to use it. But you can whip it out on a plane or a train or in the car or an airport and look like you're actually doing some work. You're like, oh my God, that guy's making music at the airport. He must really fucking love music. So if you want to look cool, definitely get this. And you're traveling lots, you can use this, but you could also just use the keys in your DAW, which is totally perfectly fine. Next up, if you're in a stationary studio, definitely get something with a wide range of keys because you can just play it anywhere. You can get something big, you can get something bigger, and it just has more control. It feels way nicer, and it's overall just a way better experience. The next thing you want to take into consideration is, do you know music theory or do you have a musical background? If you don't know music theory, there are two options that you can use. You can get an Ableton Push, which will tell you which notes are in key. So if you choose a C minor, it'll only highlight the notes that are in C minor. So you can just play them on the MIDI controller. But this again is like learning a new instrument. It's not like any of the other instruments, even though it uses the same notes. It's something new that you would have to learn. Or you could get something like the Complete Control, which has backlit keys, and it'll just light up the keys that are actually in the key of the track, which is also a good option. But again, I wouldn't suggest this because you should go back and learn some music theory. At least know the notes that are in a key and some of the chords that are in a key, because that's the basic knowledge you need to know as a musician. You just got to know this. So if you're relying on controllers, it's not going to be good for the long run. Now, if money is no option and you have tons of fucking cash to just make it rain, I would definitely suggest getting something cool looking like the Complete Control, just because it looks badass and it's all black and sleek. That being said, I don't use anything besides the actual keyboard for a couple reasons. A, it takes time to map all those controls to a MIDI keyboard, so that takes time. Yes, there are some controllers that automatically map, but there are way too many functions in a synthesizer or a DAW to actually map the things to the things that you're actually using. So that's another downfall. Also, if you have the things mapped, it takes way more time for me to go like this and come back and continue working than it is just to move my mouse a couple clicks and just complete the task. So I wouldn't suggest anything besides just a regular old keyboard. Get the coolest looking one if you want to spend a couple of $100 more bucks. The Complete Control is like $850, which is really, really expensive. But if you're just starting out, or if you trust what I'm saying and you have a similar workflow to me, I would suggest just getting the M Audio 49 key. It's like $130. You can buy it online super duper cheap, and it's all you need. It looks slick, doesn't look amazing, but people that aren't music producers aren't really gonna know, and they're not really gonna give any shits about any of the gear that you have. as much as you think they do, no one's gonna give a shit. So I would suggest just saving the money, spending it on maybe a synthesizers, crazier effects, or even educational trainings to make your production skills even better. I wouldn't waste money on this kind of stuff. But if you do want to waste money, Complete Control is my recommendation. Budget option would be the M Audio 49 keys. Now, I know because you're watching this video that you're a music producer, so if you want some live feedback on any of your music, there's a submission link below, and because every second Wednesday I do a live feedback session on Facebook Live. So send me your tracks and I will critique them, give you some constructive criticism on your music. Also, every other Wednesday I do a live marketing Q&A on my Instagram Live. So if you have any questions, hit me up at itsThomasAntnony on my Instagram, and I'll answer those questions in the live session. Now, if you want help promoting some of your music, I would suggest checking out some of my videos on music promotion on YouTube and Spotify and releasing your music. But if you want just some straight help on it, I have a Dirty Pretty playlist that I update every Friday. If you want to submit your music to try and get in that playlist, there's a submission link below. Also, if you like music, mixes for the gym and for banging and for driving or whatever you like to listen to music for, I have my monthly mix show called Smell the Roses. It's updated every month with the most badass fucking hour-long tunes that you can find on the internet today. Super badass. So definitely consider checking that out. All the links of everything will be linked below, along with everything that I talk with in the video will be linked below. Thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot from this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you love these videos, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification. Again, I'm Thomas Anthony from Fancy Foxx Music, where we help transform frustrated bedroom producers into confident professional artists. Keep it fancy. Peace.
What do you want to do, huh? What do you want to do?